to expression of self. What thoughts do you have as you all look at what she's done and where she suggestions of where you to take it next?
I kind of wonder if you did the projector in your classroom and just like set it up, like in an environment they're familiar with, like around the puppet, even like around your puppet stage or anything, like what would happen then? Would there be more storyline?
Yeah.
Since you are revisiting it and they're like somewhat familiar with it, or a more familiar environment.
Yeah,
Or they have other things available too.
We talked about doing that when we originally did it, and we weren't sure, like, for at least the first experience, there was enough room.
Yeah.
We were like, is this, like, with the tables, like, how are we gonna create room for them all to, like, explore it when it's, like, a fun new thing, and they're all like, wow. So maybe, now that they've had, like, several exposures, it wouldn't be as chaotic to have it in a smaller space. So I think that would be good.
I think we didn't add that you even changed your environment because puppets people are becoming such a predominant curriculum piece.
Yeah, we were getting all these puppets that we're making and using, and they were like shoved in the corner, and I'm like, if this is our project, it needs to be displayed in a way that draws interest to it and not forgot about when we're not working or, using them for circle or something. And we just changed it like Friday, I think. And this week they've already used the stage so much more, like in their free play. And so we've noticed a difference in that too, which is good. Because you want to make sure it's not just what we're doing, but like something that they're exploring on their own in their free time. Otherwise it's not really an interest.
So you have two things happening, the shadows and the light, and connecting that to puppets. So not that they're separate, you want to bring them back together, but as you talked about then exploring outside of puppets, and then not to forget then back to the hand puppets.
Hand puppets every day for circle time. We've been doing attendance with them.
And do those live in your room or do they just stay at circle?
No, they're out with the puppets. They survive fairly well. So they like to play with like their friends.
One of the discussions we had that is critical to keep in mind in the environment is that puppets need to be alive and have life to them. And so often in the environment they get shoved in a drawer, shoved in a box. And so we work hard to get you put in the foam, you use foam to put these in, or a shoebox where they're up and alive. And children engage and interact to the puppet with life instead of just, put them away and they're in the basket or a box and shove them in. And your environment reflects that very well. And you classified in group puppets, so they...
Yeah, we kind of store the puppets, the animals, the people, and then the stick puppets they made have their own little box that they usually stand up in. The sack puppets are all together. Those can't, we don't have a way to stand those.
But you've been consciously aware of that those have life, and that for children to engage in them to have life, they need to be a part of the classroom, visible for children in that way. Let's go back. Mary, do you have thoughts of where to go?
I was just wondering about, and kind of you were talking about this with the storyline, but like some kind of tie into some book that they really love and some puppets that they could kind of act out and encourage language out like.
Yeah, I think that would be good, because I think we're going to try Brown Bear, and that's a story like they were already really familiar with and like, so I think that we have a lot of puppets too that go with the animals, so maybe they could, since they know the words, maybe they could start acting out.
Or even like writing some kind of, since you guys are listening to the book writing some kind of book about the puppets that you have or something, like giving language to that.
Yeah.
Some kind of title. Yeah. Write a book about those hand puppets, please. Or Dora.
What would happen, especially Dora, I think that's a connection.
Our kids love
tie that in.
And then to think of a book and then to have the options of puppets and say, what do you think we should use for this? Because at this point, like the ducks and the frogs, you've shown them and introduced them to the puppet. They did representation of making their own, and you had a bit of information of how they would act with that. But to choose a story and then say, what puppet should we use for this? What do we need to make this puppet story come alive? And see what their response will be to that.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting to see. And we've kind of, with the duck one, like, in the song says like mother duck said, and whoever's mom, the mother duck says quack quack. So like we kind of started like giving them, like whoever gets to be that duck gets to say that part of the
That's
song.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so I think that's kind of like will help bridge into like who says the
And
story and like having them help tell the story,
Mhm.
because they're starting to, they're catching on to like, oh, I'm supposed to say this.
Yeah.
Because at first they just looked at me like, what? I was like, quack quack, and they're like, ah. So now they know like their role. So I think that would be a good bridge into.
And did you say Isabel changes tonation?
Yes.
So does she use the deep voice for that?
Yes. For all puppets.
Mhm.
Quack quack.
So as you look at each of the children and their developmental goals, you're looking at language and literacy and storyline. Are there other things that you think will come out of this based upon development? Shift you back to just thinking about where you take it from a developmental perspective, because projecting allows so much to emerge and happen. What do you all hope Jesse out in there?
Just the social skills,
Yeah.
even for.
Like conversation, like waiting and taking turns and.
And one of our girls doesn't have that conversation skill at all. She just talk. I mean, she'll say whatever you want her to, but she doesn't understand like a give and take of a conversation. So I think having other kids and us model like that give and take would be really helpful for just her development to see.
But she's just at the labeling name.
Yeah, you say hi, she goes hi, or you know her name. Like you say
Mhm.
hi Allison, she goes hi Allison. No, you say hi Jessie. So just like showing her, like helping her understand that give and take, and having lots of it going on around her would be good for her development.
Or like creatively, I'm Isabella, but when I put this thing on my hand, I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
So we'll come back and see in a couple of weeks where it's gone, to
Yes.
look to see where shadows go, puppets go, the combination of them.
I have like an idea since it all started with the puppets coming alive, like if you projected like a video of a puppet show
Mm-hmm.
and show them again like how they were alive, since that's how it started, I just wonder if that re-sparked.
Yeah, I think that would be good because, yeah, just to